Welcome to another episode of the Film Hackers Talk Show. My name is Maritza. I am so happy that you came back today. Share those links, YouTube, Facebook, and we are here to equip you with all the knowledge. Also that's why we bring them here, so we can hook you up, that you need in order to make it through the film industry. Now, whether it's talking about sound, whether it's talking about management, we make sure that you get all the information you need and you can be part of the conversation because it actually carries on social media right after we leave this beautiful set. How are you doing? Happy Friday to you and yours. I'm excited about today's conversation because these stakeholders are the major stakeholders. If these stakeholders were not present, what is film? Shall we shoot wild animals forever? I'm very excited today. We have an amazing panel. More ladies, yes? Very happy about that, and I can't wait to introduce them to you because you'll absolutely have a good time, and I'm hoping I will as well. Now, this would not be possible without Net Studios Africa, as well as Garage Group and Incredible Media, and you can also share these links to your friends so they can watch and be part of the show. My name is Maritza. I will be your host for the entire hour, and welcome aboard. Now, today we have actresses and a TV producer. Now, I am excited today because the conversation is about actor, actress, and producer relationships. Relationships are very important, not just to help us multiply, but also to help us make some money. And sometimes the relationship you have with the producer actually makes your work a lot easier and a lot better. Now, today, I am excited. Let's start with, on my right, weighing about 250 pounds. I'm joking. I am sorry. I need to stop making those jokes with women. On my right, very excited to welcome to the show Agaba Joan. She is an actress, but that's not where she started. My girl left HR and decided to come to the happiest side of life. She's passionate about film. You have seen her in Mistakes Girls Do. She has won awards for Best Actress, and I think that was in Terror. And I'll let her introduce herself in a little bit. I need to also introduce the other panelists today. To my far left, let me stop with the weight jokes, this is not boxing. To my far left, I'm very excited to welcome to the show Ninsima Rona, another decorated award-winning actress. And she has actually co-starred in a couple of TV shows and movies with Joan, so that will be an interesting conversation to get into. So you know her from Laila, you know her from 94 Terror, Mistakes Girls Do, and I'm very excited that she's here with us today as well. Drum roll, please, for the only gentleman on the panel today. We have Agaba Osman. He is a TV programmer, he's a producer, he's an actor, and he says for the first time in 6 years, he's on the other side of the camera. So I can't wait to see how that goes. Some of his works are, of course, very amazing. Ngude Munsobi, He's the Man, and also the comedy TV School Times. And I think this time, let's give the panelists a bit more time to introduce themselves and talk about themselves since they are the focus of the conversation today. So let's start with you, Osman. Tell us about how you became a producer, your acting journey, how you became Agaba Osman.
Matov Osman, by the way, not
Sir,
Agaba.
I'm so
There's
sorry.
an Agaba here.
I married you. I apologize.
I think so many ladies now.
I am not ordained to marry people, so I take that back. I apologize. Mr.
No
Matovu Osman.
Yes. My journey goes back long time because I grew up in theater from 1983. That's when I was born. Yeah, Sajamkulu. That's when I was born, and by 1986, I had started featuring into drama plays as a baby. Wow. So I grew up knowing that life. I grew up in like a theater boy. Then joining my primary, the same happened. Joining my secondary school, the same happened with Bakaimba Drama Actors, that is Pride Academy, so it was still the same thing. Then as Bakaimbida, we used to do drama performances and musical shows. That's when the auditions for Last King of Scotland came in. And the group was, okay, you have to go for auditions and everyone has to be there. So I was very lucky I was an extra who was not seen in the movie, but...
It's the experience that counts.
But when I was there, I realized that this is who I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. And from there, I never turned back. So I went ahead, I convinced an headmistress, Red Star Primary School, it is in Kasubi there, to do a children film. It was like a drama film, kind of. So we did it, and surprisingly, I didn't know by that time there was any Ugandan making movies. But during the period of the premiere, that's when I found Kagolo Hussein, Ashraf Simo Gerere. So we became 3 people, each doing his own thing, but all serving the same purpose. And I think from there, the rest is history. We're just moving on.
That's a long story.
It's a long.
But you're not that old. Did you know you're actually a millennial?
No.
Yeah, you are. If you
Really?
were born in 1980 onwards, you're a millennial.
I understand, but I doubt marrying you.
So let's hear from the real Agaba.
So my journey is quite a funny one. So I have a friend. She's like, we're having auditions and you're not so busy. Can you please help me? And we got together. So I'm like, okay, acting sounded like a joke. So I'm like, okay, let's go. So I reached there, people are auditioning, they're teaming up, they're pairing here and there, and it all looks weird, they're so confused. And I'm like, okay, let me go find something to eat. I think I cannot tolerate this environment. It was too loud. So a certain guy comes up and he's like, please, I really need to do these auditions. I really want to, and I don't have a pair. Can we be a team? And I'm like, okay. The first thing that I told him, you're going to pay. I told him, you're paying.
You're not easy.
I never saw myself acting. And it is as soon as 2015. It as close as then. So we team up and we go for the auditions. So we wait for the results, which I was not actually interested in. Yeah, I'm being realistic here.
I like it.
So, director says, the first person he mentioned was Agaba Joan. I'm like, okay, now look at this bullshit, honestly. I've failed, and everyone has seen me that I've failed.
And they called you back.
Over things I didn't even want to do in the first place. So he tells me, oh, I like your color complexion, but I think you need to watch a lot of movies because you actually didn't give me what I wanted. It was basically coming with a friend for auditions. I didn't know acting existed. It is something I'd never thought I would ever do. But as as time passed, this friend kept on insisting I go for rehearsals. And because I didn't want to hurt them, I would spare some transport and come for the rehearsals. So my first movie, it was still a joke.
You have a whole role in a movie.
No, it was the first one.
Maybe not.
The first one was Freedom.
Okay.
So what actually pissed me off was I go all the way to Ginger to sit as an extra, and I'm like, I'm not doing this. I told my friend, the next year, it's my year. The treatment they gave the lead role was amazing. I felt I needed to be in that place. I felt I belonged there. But I didn't know what acting was. I needed the treatment. I think you understand me. Yeah. So I was just excited. Yeah. So she laughs out loud and she's like, if she did it, you can do it. But we know with this look like you cannot do it. And I'm like, okay. I didn't know how to act. I didn't know what things. So as time passed, we come back for rehearsals, shooting's done, and boom, it's torture. People kept on rehearsing. But inside me, I had this zeal. I had that wolf in me. Like you have another person within you that keeps on pushing you, even when you resist so hard.
Yeah.
So I feel like these people don't do it exactly as I would have. you know. I'm just seated there praying director to spot me out and tell me, come and try it out. And yes, he did. He gave me the opportunity, and from then is when I knew I am literally meant for this. So everything just happened. From then, I just embodied with acting. I became another whole new person. You know, if I don't go for rehearsals, I'm
Incomplete. This happened in 2015, the space of 1 year.
Yes.
That is
So
amazing.
2016, I have a movie. I'm nominated Best Actress, MVCA. When I go out there and I look at these people and I'm competing with, oh my, with people who have been in the industry for over years. I've grown watching them. I looked at myself and I'm like, woman, grow up. You're meant for this, you know? And you know, I have a very amazing director who keeps on pushing you, you know? You act with him. He tells you, you can do it. Even when inside you have this whole evil spirit telling you, oh woman, you cannot.
Dark
You
angel
know,
one
you
side.
have a dark angel within you telling you, you are so dark. You're not as beautiful as a person who needs to be on screen. You know, those, oh, trust me.
Yeah.
My journey is amazing. It has a lot to reflect on how disorganized my
I
life
like
was.
how self-aware you were even throughout the whole period.
Yeah, it
and recognizing that I'm here, but I'm not sure. Not
Yes,
yet.
yes.
But we're here.
I'm telling you.
I like that. Let's hear from you, Rona. How did you become Rona Ninsima?
To be honest, even as a child, I was a fanatic of film.
Wow.
I've always loved to watch film. In that was like a punishment for me. My mother would come up and like, if you don't do this, you're not watching a movie. So I grew up knowing that I love film, I want to watch movies. I didn't know that I really want to act, but I wanted to watch movies. And I liked the escapism, the sense of escapism in acting. It was fun. I felt like sometime when I was growing up, I would be with my little brother. Now, like a movie like Home Alone. Would say word per word, like word per word. And all the movies would say the words, and then I'm like, I think I can do this. I want to do this as a child. But I was not sure that I would do it, and even at that age, I didn't know that acting was a thing in Uganda. I didn't even think it would really, really become a thing in Uganda. I didn't think film would ever come to Uganda. And I'm surprised at that time, film was actually going on.
Yeah.
So I grew up and made new friends, and when I was at campus, a few of my friends told me, Rona, you're a drama queen. You should venture into acting. You know, like just a comment, like a friend of mine called Precious. She just kept calling me a drama queen, like I would like do things and she's like mesmerized, and then I'm like, she's like, you need to act. I didn't like give it thought until one day, they heard of some auditions, fast track auditions. I think that was the time of the hostel, sometime like that. And they told me, we are going for these auditions. I'm like, we are going if you guys are going to audition with me. But I am not auditioning. So they're like, okay, we are all going to audition. So we reached and then we auditioned. And then I met some guy called Kasmil and some two guys, Kasmil and Sami Wetala. And then they told me that I actually had talent. They were like just complimenting. And then I'm like, these guys.
They want something.
These guys. And like, it went on like that. Like I was just downplaying it, but I knew I liked it, but I was not confident enough to go ahead and pursue it. Then sometime they were calling for auditions. I went for like 5 auditions before I went to Limit Production.
Okay.
Just going there for fun, to just get the feel, because Precious kept telling me, you can act. I want you to act. I'm like, let's just go for these auditions. If you don't like it, you don't have to do it. Like, we go for the auditions. If you do it and they call you, well and good. If they don't call you, kawa. So we go for the Limit Productions auditions, and then it hit me. I'm like, I've come for auditions and this is an agency. That means they have to sign me. And then my comment was telling me, I have to be signed to one person for all these years. I'm like, no.
The fear of commitment.
Yeah. And then the director Mlindo, is like, you can act. First of all, I like your voice. I'm like, okay, my voice. That was like the first time I heard someone say anything about my voice. Me, I used to think like my voice was too cracky, I don't like it, and what? And then he's like, I like your voice. Secondly, your skin complexion is going to pay you amounts of money. And when I was growing up, people used to call me Amukoko.
Kadugala,
I'm like,
all the names. Yeah.
how dare you say this skin complexion is going to pay me? When
Did
I've
you ask
been...
which currency?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I'm like, how dare you? I can't get paid because I'm dark-skinned. And then he's like, trust me, you thank me when there's someone that calls you for the first time because you're dark-skinned. I'm like, okay. Now, there's things that he said, but even when he told me that I'd gone through the auditions, I can now be signed to the agency, those two particular things that he said, I kept thinking about them. I'm like, okay, for once in my life, those two things I didn't like, someone likes them and they actually think they can make me money. And I'm like, okay, I think I should give it a try. Yeah, from there on, I've never looked back.
Just here collecting awards.
Yeah.
I like it. I think a background story tells a lot. Even just hearing from the three of you tells a lot of how there's so many different ways to get into the film industry. And I know there's a lot of aspiring actors and actresses, or even people who want to get into the producer roles, that want to be part of the industry. From your experience, even from what you've seen over the years as you've worked, the people you've interacted with, what are some of the best ways to be initiated, or even to initiate yourself into the film industry as an actor or actress and producer? I think let's start with you.
I think it all goes back to discipline. When I talk about discipline, normally in Africa, we know discipline is when you wake up and greet elders and stuff like that. But the way you compose yourself, how do you keep time? How do you do your things? When you get on set, are you ready with the lines, or you need to go there and you start mambo-jambering around like, I need to get this line, I haven't got it. Have you practiced enough? Are you patient enough that if they go for another take, go for another take? Are you really willing to go for it? The cooperation, how are you going to coordinate with all the others, the makeup artist, the costumier, whoever is on set? Because remember, as an artist, when you're there, everyone on the crew is looking at you. Yeah. Whatever they have, they're feeding you so that you make it better. Yeah. If you make it better, then the project turns to be better. So it all goes back to discipline, according to me. Discipline is the key factor.
I would expect that from the producer. Yeah. Okay, discipline, so we can get work done.
Of course.
Let's hear from you, Joan.
I think I'll side with him. My experience, I would say, whatsoever situation is on set, and whatsoever situation there is with a producer, anything, whatever it is, discipline comes first. And once that is done, to me, the second one should be persistence.
That's good.
Once you have the discipline, but you easily give up on things, trust me, you cannot make it. With this, our industry, trust me, if you're not persistent, you have to keep going. If you're told that is not right, be as appreciative as someone who allows feedback. Yes, you need to change this. I think you need to twist in a little here, cut a little bit of weight, and, because we are portraying characters that are not us. And it's in the producer's best interest, and also you, the actor, in your best interest, to suit the character that you're being given. But in most cases as actors, I think this whole game, we just throw it to the producers, to the owner of the movies, and you forget that as much as Usman is doing this movie, he's not the face of this movie. You as an actor are the face of this movie. When you go out there and you're acting as this bitchy, slutty kid, it's you who's going to be slapped, not Usman who gave me that script. So how best can you operationalize your character depending on the person that you've been given in script? You understand? So I think we shouldn't just throw this whole game to the producers. As actors, we need to own it, own the script. As immediately as Usman gives you the script, it ceases being his.
Take the responsibility.
Take the responsibility. Do the research. Own it. And let it embody with it. Make research about it. He's not going to send you research material.
You've made a very key point. So, like, when you get a script, elaborate on that. Why would I have to do research? The film is on the paper.
Yes, it is on the paper because your accent is totally different from mine, and you're being given a script to act me. You understand? Are you understanding?
You want me to try? To try and act like John? So, you have been given a script and you have to take responsibility. How's my audition? How's my audition?
So you understand? Yeah. So at the end of the day, is you not looking stupid on screen?
Paint a picture of the kind of research you've had to do in the past, because accents doesn't even feel like real research. If you're acting Ugandan roles, we have Basoga friends, we have Acholi friends, you know?
I think it works.
It's not about only the language. But for instance, you're portraying a policeman.
Yes.
How do they behave? I see so many characters where a policeman comes in with beards like mine. Have you ever seen one? Because it's a regulation in the police academy. You don't have to have beards. Seriously, that's how it is. You are portraying the character of a nurse. How are you holding the injection? That is the kind of research you have to, exactly. I remember one time we did a project about law and what it was about, I'm forgetting the exact thing, but this guy was supposed to be a lawyer. But the dress code, the way we dressed him, when we went to Law Development Center to get some clarifications, they told us, no, we don't put on like that. We don't put on flowered shirts. That's when I realized, wow, these guys, and it's either white or plain blue, and that's how they do.
Yeah.
So that research also as an actor or an actress, you need it. You need to understand that. Even other people on the crew, they need to know that.
And then again, Marisa, you said accenting is not really an issue because we have Basoga friends and whatnot. I beg to differ because accenting is actually acting. So
It's a full course.
Yes, it's a full course. Dialect, like personally, I would like to up my game on dialect, get more languages, and in Uganda, I would at least have to know a half of each language in Uganda. If you do that, Osman, if he's looking for an Acholi, and I know some Acholi, half of Acholi, even when I am not Acholi, he will call me.
Yeah.
So if I cannot accent like an Acholi, he's not going to call me because there are many more Acholis out there. So why would he call me? So if you're doing your research and you're working on your accenting and your dialect, it's also research. It is, as an actress, you need it.
So it's work. From the points that you are making, put in the work. Yeah. Let's hear from you. How do we make it, if I'm trying to get into the industry, how would I do that as an actress?
Yeah, so everyone has talked about discipline and persistence and what. I like to talk about passion. See, what we do is passion-driven. Because if you're not passionate about acting, you might not even last for a year or two. Because if you're not passion-driven and they call you on set at 1 a.m.,
First, pause. You get called on set at 1 a.m.
Yes.
What were you waiting for? The moon to rise? Paint that picture for someone who doesn't understand why they're being called at 1 a.m.
Okay, you're not really called on set at 1 a.m., but you are on set, you have to shoot your scene at night. And maybe there are scenes they had to shoot at first, like there are those scenes they need to shoot first, like from 8 p.m. to like midnight, and then your scene comes last. Yeah, you get. So if you're not passion driven, and then you have to be out of your bed at 1 a.m., you're like, is this worth it?
Mfachi.
Yeah, mfachi, you know. So if you're not passion driven, you're not going to do it. Then again, there's something people like to run away from that is real. If you're not passion driven, let me tell it like it is. There is no money. Like, don't dream and be like, I'm going to be paid $10,000 for a role. No, it's not there. A producer is fixing his budget. He has 10 million he wants to put in a film. 10 or 20 million. That means lighting, cameras, locations and whatnot. Remember, locations here, we have to even pay for locations. Not like in Nigeria where they're even called upon Django because they say, Wange, you get. Now here you have to pay for location. So the director, the producer of the film is looking at it and he's like, Rona, let me give you 50,000 shillings. And I'm like, okay, I studied accounting. If I am at that firm, I'm going to be paid 600 per month after tax. Why am I staying here for 50K? You get, if you're not passion driven, you will not stay.
Yeah.
You get,
Yeah.
you will not stay. So if you're passion driven, you have to like what you're doing. Because for us who have managed to stay for all these years in acting, it's because it's a job that we do that we like to do. We are having fun at a job. Yeah. If you're not passion driven, yes, I'm not saying there are not people that are there that are acting and they're not passionate about it. They are there, but they are there.
The unison in agreement.
They are there, but I like to think they're not going to be in it for a long time.
Yeah.
Because, see, for one, as a woman, when you're not passionate about it, a man is going to come and is like, Arono Mani, I'm going to get you a shop in Chikubo. It's going to be worth 30 million. And every day you're going to be getting yourself like 100 Gs. I'm like, okay, now if I am not passion driven, I'm like,
50K. that 50K becomes like lunch money.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
Like,
So if I'm acting and I'm not passion driven and a man like that comes in my life, ngenda Bufumbo College, yeah? And yet you need the passion to keep you going. Yes, this man has come, but you need to tell him, you know what, Osman, my love, I actually love acting, and it's what makes me happy. If you're not,
let
please
him
stay
divert
home.
his 30 millions. That can work. I want us to elaborate on the money conversation, but before we go there, I think we need a better understanding on what a producer does, because I think that will also put the money conversation in perspective. Mr. Producer, sir.
Basically, you're the manager, you're the owner of the project. You have to see things running, like any other businessman. For example, you owning a washing bay, let me give it that to that level. You would love your bakana to be there on time, the service they provide. So it comes back to the producer. You have to make sure that everything runs exactly as it's supposed to be, because every minute costs you. Like she said, 50K. I know what it means. I know the value of an actress who gets 50K or an actor. I can understand what it is, because there was a point at the time even the crew people and whatever, they were not paid. But it hurts you deep inside. Though you don't have the budget, you have this passion that we have to make this work done. But you look at them after a shoot, like you said, 1 a.m., huh? Is it? Yes. So that means you're shooting. So you're leaving the set at 3, somehow there, around there. How are they going to go back? You look at that. Because this means you have to push. You have to go mad. You have to be crazy about it. I need this done. So if an actress makes a mistake, you feel like, oh, Nanzita. If things are not right, the continuity person miscalculated something, now the katamba is not on the head. What the hell are you thinking? That's why you see these people, sometimes they are rough, but it's not them. It's about, it's securing the investment. It's about the investment. Because normally we borrow money to put in projects. You don't have that chunk that you go pick and you put. You borrow, go to the bank, what I need this money to do this project, shooting 3 months, editing, post-production, 3 months, 6 months down the road. All your life is on that budget. All whatever you're doing, it's there. So you have to push. You have to push. That's why you see certain producers from the field, they can't sleep for months. What is going on? Where is our movie? Mundeke. Because the guy is dry. He can't push
Yeah.
anything. He can't push
Yeah.
anything.
That is very, is the word understandable? When I get English.
It's okay.
Understandable. That is very understandable because now at the head, you have, do they call an omniscient view?
Of course,
Of
you do.
You see everything,
Everywhere.
everyone, and you're everywhere at the same time.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about money because you brought up a very important point that if you don't have passion, the money aspect can sway you because it might not be that much. How long did it take you to get paid in acting? Let's start with Osman.
Personally,
How many projects did you work on before you actually got money that you were like, this is a paycheck?
Okay, I will leave the drama side.
Okay.
Because that I was on scholarship, so it is different. After producing my first movie, that is The Friends Act, I also was a little bit lucky. I started my career. I kicked off my career. So after producing that movie, I tried to find an avenue. How do I get money out of it? We tried several things, but it failed. Now, I remember that evening from Pride Theatre, when that theatre was still open. I have my DVD in hand, and I want to go back to Najana Nkumbi. I have no transport on me. I haven't taken lunch, and honestly, supper, okay, I wanted lunch, supper, to Nabilaba. I was walking to around Tisenyi, Mkumbuzi, moving up to Lubiri, then I cut through the palace, then down to Ndeba. You know how you do your panyas. Then I see a small library just along the road. But I have a DVD. My content, I spent a full year working on it because I had no experience, I had no nothing, I had no anything.
Yeah.
So holding this CD, I look at the library. I need transport, I need food. I go to the guy and tell him, I have this. Can you give me 2,500? I let you publish it. 2,500, true story. Because I had tried everything. It was the Nigerians taking over everything.
Yeah.
So this guy looked at me and he laughed. And he told me, you come, let me take you somewhere. That's how I was driven to Majestic. This is when I realized big shops and big whatever, distribution libraries and whatever, were there. They made me work for almost a year. And honestly, my first movie, I wasn't paid.
Wow.
I wasn't paid. Because I had to let it to go for free so that he can give me money to do the second movie.
Yeah.
As a how do you call it? Ram Singo. Whatever. You understand? So that's how it was. But due to, because of the passion, you keep on
You pushed.
pushing.
That is a powerful story. That's a powerful story. Can I be on the writers for your biopic?
Please do.
This is a very interesting one. Now, we're going to hear more from the panelists, and especially on the conversation on money. We get into businesses that we love and projects that we love, but that doesn't mean we should forfeit our need to survive and our love for money. So that conversation is coming back. We're going to take a quick break. You are watching the Film Hackers Talk Show. Share the link. Let your friends know that we are talking actors and actress and producer relationship. We'll be right back.
Yes, good morning everyone.
Wasuze otya musomesa?
Mole mbadde mmaze okubuuza. Kwegamba tekikwetaagisa kumbuuza gwakubiri.
Musomesa, ogamba nno tukuwulidde. Mpozi eby'oluzungu by'osembyeyo. Ate nze sibitegedde.
Good morning. Kitegeeza wasuze otya. Omuntu bw'akubuuza nti good morning nga nawe omuddamu good morning to you.
Bisoose bibadde bizibu nnyo musomesa naye katyu kangu tyu kikkirizibwa okukasalako musomesa.
Sikutegedde Luwaga.
Kati mbuuza.
Good morning Luwaga.
Tyu.
Angela, oyagala ki wano? Nsonyiwa. Ngeri eddoboozi lya wano lye libayingiza, lye libafulumya, lye libasirisa.
Kati musajja oba ovudde mu magye wabula mu kifo kikyamu.
Leka naawe totaleka kuva mu magye oyo avudde butalika.
After our president had been killed, little did we know that we were living our last. Being a Tutsi had then become something not to say out loud. But we were horrified by everything.
I mean no harm, okay?
I will kill you, I swear.
You're all going to stay here. I have to go through there, and then I'll come back and get you guys, okay? There's no help.
At this point, we had to find means to survive by ourselves.
none muri kujya batubwiye ko ku rusengero ari hari amahoro niho turimo turajya.
I'm a Hutu, so they can't kill me.
Bose bapfuye nta muntu nsigaranye nsigaye njyenyine. Ndabona abo bantu nta kibazo bafite, dufatanye tujya aho bari kujya, sibyo?
There was once a man who was married. Beautiful lady, just like yourself. They were happily married with 12 children. But until one day,
I'm going to take up a dead year. I think I'll come back and do this paper the next academic year.
a man came claiming all the children, only to find out that 2 of the 12 children were his.
No, are you trying to tell me that you forgot that he has paid your tuition till now? That he has fixed everything, that he paid your mother's bills when no one could do it? Have you forgotten all that?
I know it. I don't feel him.
What's the matter? She went missing.
You're a disposable. You're a tissue that is meant to be used and dumped. That is who you are. That is a true description of you, because that is where you belong.
Was it that everything is about you? What did I do? What did I do?
And that man in that story is me.
watching the Film Hackers Talk Show. Some powerful scenes from powerful movies and a TV show there. We're going to get into that conversation, but let's first wait for these chills to relax and we'll get to talking about what the trailers that you just saw. Now, our panelists today, we have an actor and TV programmer and producer. We also have two amazing actresses, decorated actresses, award winners, and we are talking actor and actress and producer relationships, and also ebitukwatako as people in the industry and as stakeholders. Now, before we went for a break, you'd just broken down the role of a producer. Yes, and I wanted that conversation to segue into the money conversation. As a producer, yes, you have to make sure that this part has money, the sound has money, the light has money, camera has money, post-production, da-da-da-da-da. So as an actor or an actress, I come in to do my job and collect money. You see what I mean? So let me hear it from your perspective in the capacity of an actress. When you are having those money conversations, what does that look like? Does the money conversation come after they have contracted you, or midway acting? Maybe you're like on scene two. Like what does that look like? I think let's start with you.
Yeah, with me, I think I'll want to contradict. Honestly, I think the industry is developing every day that passes by. But I want to ascertain that our producers deliberately don't want to develop with the industry.
Elaborate.
What am I trying to mean is, we have Pearl Magic right now. I think media houses are coming in to buy content, which was not there before. Producers, fine, as much as they're calculative on their expenses and everything and all that, they forget the fact that we as actors are the faces, I want to repeat again, of these movies, and the audience out there, they don't want to know if we are earning or not. As much as they see you on TV, you're their idol. They'll see you, you'll meet someone, a fan, and they're like, you don't know how much I love you. But hey, I'm carrying, on my shoulder, I'm having your entire series. I'm having your entire movie. People look up to me. And as much as that is what you want, and that is what I want, I have to look it.
True.
You understand?
Yeah.
I have to look it. You're not going to give me 50,000 and you expect me to have a Brazilian and look like your movie.
You know?
You know?
Yeah.
I think producers need to come to one agreement and you look at these things realistically. Let us say you're out there in the festivals and what, and you've earned a whole chunk of money. But then you have these actors out there that are this movie, and you're not bothered about it. We get huge slaps on streets
For being
the main characters that we are.
Yeah.
Yeah. But producers don't mind about these things. All they care about is you're done, and once you're done, you're done. But this movie is still showcasing. My point is, they should stop looking at this work as voluntary work. Guys, we are breadwinners in our homesteads, as much as you're trying so much to minimize your budget. Think about me as a person who is going to carry a load on my shoulder because of your movie. I actually don't know what is happening. I don't know how much you've invested. I don't want to know.
Do you look at it as it's not my business if I'm playing my role, if I'm doing my role to the best of my ability and doing everything I'm expected?
It's
your end of the deal is not my business. Just give me what you owe me.
Yeah. Look, my business as an actor is looking like your movie, is looking like the star that you want me to portray. in the character that you gave me in your movie, if I'm walking on the streets as Kate, I should look like one. I shouldn't be found on the streets vending tomatoes.
Doesn't that also depreciate the work that you have acted in?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because look, at the end of the day, trust me, if you don't have value addition on the services that I render you as a producer, which is acting, then I don't think there is anything at play. Producers need to adjust. If you once gave me 50,000 and we look for costumes, you do everything and all that, but at least put me in that position that does not compromise your movie. You know, because every time I'm in that position, trust me, you like it or not, fans don't care. They just reach on two conclusions. They're like, namulabe banebo mulaba ku TV sibwafaanana. But bagamba bamanyi Kate, tebamanyi agaba Joan. And that Kate is in Mistakes Girls Do, which series is not mine. So what picture does it paint onto your series? You're losing business. If we look at it in the business perspective, sweetheart, you're losing business because of one simple thing that you overlook. Actor appearance is very important. Muino kuyiga okujubisa ba actors. You like it or not, it is show business.
You said something very important. Show business.
We are in show business.
The biggest aspect of show business is the visual.
Yes.
Which is also, I think, what film strives to do, to give the best visuals possible. So from what you're saying, the visuals end when the director yells, cut, it's a wrap. So then the visuals end. And yet they should carry on. Joan, you bring up very important points, but I think let's, Rona, you draw for us that picture of a conversation you've had about money before a movie. Like, just paint a picture for us so that me, who is trying to be an actress, I know what to address and what not to address.
Like I said, in this discussion, I'm going to say it as it is. Us as actors have had to play the role of producer in some way. In a way that I come on set with costume, I come on set with hair done, I come on set with shoes, I come on set with every little thing that is supposed to...
Makeup, actress, producer.
Exactly. And you don't want me to come as Rona, you don't want me to come as Rona because maybe Rona is a short hair person, because that is who I am. But you want me, you want me to come with a human wig that is 360 and is looking old, dashy and nice, because the role that you've given me calls for that. So if you want to become an actress, I'm going to say it as it is, you're going to play producer at some point. Because I don't want to speak for producers because I'm not a producer yet. I am an actress. Yes. I'm going to speak for an actress. We are playing role of a producer. We don't get paid much. And I am lucky that I get paid.
Give me that conversation.
Yes.
I want the producer-actress conversation on money.
Yes.
Because even as HR, I think you'll testify that sometimes that conversation it could either put you in a position of, should I just do it for free? Or it could put the producer in a position of, So like everyone like keeps looking at it from like, you know what I mean?
In the long run, you know what it leads to? The HR perspective is demotivation.
Demotivation.
Yes.
So I want to see that.
Yeah. So you're seated in front of a director or producer and they're asking you, Rona, how much are you going to do to act for this movie? I haven't had that conversation. I've never had that conversation.
What?
Yes. I'm being honest. I've never had that conversation. I have been paid. I'm not saying I've never been paid. I have been paid for all the roles that I've acted, but I've never had the conversation that Rono yagala meka. You get? It's always like zino ze ziliwo mukwano nyamba okole. You get?
So do they give you
they
that
don't
information? Do they give you that information before they hand you the script or after they've shot scene 10?
See, the time they hand you the script, you've already been casted. According to a producer, you've been casted and that is your role. We don't know whether you will accept our money or not. That's how it is. Yes, it's time to work. And after you have worked is when they're like, Rena man, sente zimpedeko nga bwolaba, seti simanya nona chamanja nona manja kwata zino. Ochitegea. There is nothing like how much are you going to work for? I've worked on so many projects, not just Limit Production. I've worked on so many projects and I have never been sat down and they're like, Rona, tugenda kuoba musanvu oba etaano oba 10. Never.
Ballpark figure, if I was going to do, I think TV series now are a bit more popular. I'm assuming because they rack in a bit more money, not just for the production team, but for everybody involved, even the people broadcasting the series. So if I was going to be on Pearl Magic every day at 7:30 p.m. for 30 minutes, what does my paycheck look like every month? Do I get paid during shooting? Do I get paid throughout the year, regardless of whether we're shooting? For something like a long-term project like that, how does that operate?
It's according to the contract you have with your producer. Your producer might want to pay you on every day you come on set, they pay you that day. Or the producer might be like, man, I can't afford that much right now. Let me sell the film first and then get money, then I'll call you back. That is how sometimes it runs.
Operating on faith.
Yes. And that is, by the way, that is for people like us who have just gotten chance and have been paid. Marita said there are some people out there that have not ever seen a coin. And they're just saying, wait, like they've called me for this role. Wow, I think I'm making it. Osman called me. Wow, let me go, even if he doesn't pay me.
Let me say for sure, you are amazing actresses because we would never know.
Yes.
We would never know. Speaking of the amazingness that we have on the panel today, we did show a few clips from School Times, the comedy show. And it was?
2008.
2008. If I tell you where I was. So School Times, tell us about School Times and that comedy show. Because I think 2008, the industry was way different from the way it is now.
Very different, very different. It was very different. Putting more on what they have said, there is a factor we all miss in this point. It's going to be like this for ages unless we change the system. And what is the issue? Several years I tried to communicate to my fellow producers, directors, and actors. Most of the time when we used to have those gatherings and whatnot discussion, we have failed. We are not yet loved by our people.
When you say our people, do you mean us, the audience? Do you mean the institutions that govern the industry?
The audience. It is something, it's a big barrier in front of us, but we are not looking at it. What happens every day, if I finish a movie, I want to jump to another, I want to jump to another. But we have failed to understand, how do we penetrate? How do we make these people demand for our movies?
For someone who's been both in theater and on the screen, how does theater get its numbers? Because
it's changed now because theater then and theater now is completely different.
It's completely different. So back in the day we had limitations. Not everyone had a screen.
Everyone had a smartphone, what, and the gatherings were either theater.
No, but even of recent, like just literally maybe 2 or 3 years ago, theaters would fill up. They would actually fill up. People would show up to watch a stage play.
Yeah, they should. So they do, but this is what happens. If you're setting a theater production, the budget you put in, you have to make sure that production has to last 3 months in the location. That's how you can only, and 3 months, that is getting full house every day. So you can pay your people, or you can meet your costs.
To get a profit or just to cover costs?
To get profits and to cover the costs. But if you make a show like today, like for example, Bat Valley is one of the biggest theaters. Its capacity is 1,000 people. 1,000 people paying 20,000, that is 20 million. You understand? So how much has John Segawa invested to do the sets? How much are they paying the electricity? How much are they paying for maintenance? That is John Sega, who is lucky, is the owner of the theater. And then it comes to Osman, who doesn't own one. They tell you, Osman, we are giving you 2 weekends. The first weekend, people haven't seen the production. The second weekend, the rumors go around, they are coming in, and you have to leave. You understand?
Yeah.
There are a lot of dynamics in there. But going back to the other point, unless whatever they have said is right, I agree with you, because I've been there, I've seen it. I know when you're supposed to pay, and I know when you're not supposed to pay. Yes, I've done it, and I can't deny, because we don't have the market.
That's the way it is.
We don't have the market, and in most cases, for them now, they speak like that because they have at least got somewhere. But there is a point when people just say, "Bambi nyambanda bike." I want to be seen. Exposure. So that's why you see.
How big is the currency of exposure in film?
How big is that?
The currency of exposure in film. I'll explain, because
Yeah,
now
I get
with
it,
social media, being an influencer pays you.
Yeah.
So before you have ranked up your CV, you will work for exposure for about a year.
Exactly.
So like when it comes to film, how long do you have to pay your dues before exposure turns into money?
Then
Ronan Sai is like,
Because
So it's long.
How many Ugandan movies have you watched, Marisa?
Be honest.
Off the top of my head, everyone has watched Uganda Matters. Everyone has watched Ruth America.
you're
I
saying
have
everyone, and I want to.
Disagree
no,
with
but these
you.
are old movies. These are old movies.
Yeah.
So I am a defaulter in the new movies, and that goes to Access.
Yes,
Yes, that goes to Access. So I've watched, off the top of my head, I could say maybe I've watched about 7.
You're
Ugandan
actually a very
movies.
good Ugandan.
Yeah.
Our lovely Ugandans have phobia for Ugandan films.
Exactly.
I want to put it that way because they don't want to. They actually say, "Vina Uganda byebichi." How do I even sit and watch a Ugandan movie? So if we have such an attitude in our audience, how do you think I am going to become an influencer? There is no way.
But the question is, why do you think they have that attitude? That is the bottom line. Why do you think they are not appreciating us?
Because our first content was like that.
Let me
Our
tell
first
you.
content.
Let me tell you.
Our first content was lit.
I'm taking the host.
Sorry. Because honestly, if you go back and look at a Nigerian movies,
Those guys were worse than us. But hey, Nigerians love their content. They love everything about
their
Nigeria.
people.
They love their people. I'll say this: when I was in Nigeria, these people watch their movies. Watch their movies. They don't have these Western movies to watch. Priority goes to Nigeria first. Then maybe you can watch a Western movie. But priority goes to them. Why? I think it all starts. I want to say it starts with the people, because we are all Africans. Mentality doesn't change that much. I think I'll drive it to the government. Why? You know why I'm driving it to government? Number one is we need to emphasize and functionalize copyright. Copyright. In as much as we want to be there, once that is not functionalized, it could be there, but it's not functional. We need it to be functional. You know, people need to be forced, because we are human beings. We work on force. We need to be forced to love our country. We need to put Uganda at spotlight. It has to be priority whatsoever. You go to bars here. I want to take it to the other way around. And they're playing Nigerian music. I was to their bars, they never played not even a single Bebe Cool music.
Don't you think that is lack of talent?
It's not lack of talent.
I think we don't have enough talent.
No.
I will stand on that.
No.
And I will defend that.
No.
I think we're lacking talent.
No.
Seriously. You will agree with that at a point. I think we're lacking talent.
We have talent, but we don't have exposure.
Because
Now, let me
if
jump
we
in.
didn't have talent,
I wanted you guys to go head to head, but let me
please.
speak as the audience. We have talent. We do have talent in this country, whether it's with music, whether it's, and you've seen it. Even if you say we don't have talent, I feel like there is talent, but I feel like what happens when it comes to us as consumers is we are not going to look for you. We live, especially our generation, we live in a generation where we're not, I want soap. I'm not going to look for soap. At Sijui, what is the best soap on the market? I'm not going to look for it. Let it come to me. Let entertainment come to me. Notifications on my Facebook. Let me find out from my notification that Film Hackers Talk Show has started. No one is going out of their way to get this content, which I think is where the other big problem is. Some of the movies most Ugandans have watched were broadcast on UBC. By force, because that was the only TV station. And it was in our faces. I feel like, for me as a consumer, I am rarely targeted. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
I am
and it
rarely
brings back to talent.
targeted.
Talent
Talent based on product or talent based on marketing? Because marketing is also a conversation we need to have.
With the talent I'm talking about, it's the art of understanding what the audience really needs. That's what we're lacking, and that's the talent we don't have.
So,
performers are okay. Very fine. Performers are very fine. But we don't have writers.
Are we creating content for an audience that doesn't exist?
The audience is there, but we have failed to satisfy it with what it wants. That's why you see it jumps to Nigerian movies, Nigerian music. Today, Philippine soaps, the Telemundo.
I beg to differ with you, Mr. Osman, because if it was about what the audience wants, then we would have so many viewers from Ugandans. Because producers, there's so many producers that produce very different work. The Bossa produces series, and Ugandans love them on Wicked Day. They love them. Mr. Mulindo will produce Mistakes Girls Do, and there are those Ugandans that will love that. And Fast Track will produce Deception, and those Ugandans will love that. You get, so it's not about the audience we don't produce for the audience, no.
Because
the audience
I think as a consumer, I only have an opinion about a consumer, because I agree with you, because I have a variety to pick from. And I think I've had this referred to uptown, downtown, then the Sibitegera. But like, you know, someone refers something to me, like Five at Home. How I started watching Five at Home was because I was told, because I was looking for I love Ugandans acting. I love it. So I was looking for something to get hooked on. How I started watching Five at Home, someone told me, oh, you remember Hostel? There's another show that's even better or as good as. Does that make sense? So now there's a basis. If someone is going to refer me to another TV series they can't compare to something we have already loved, I won't pay attention. They'll be like, oh yeah, there's this show on this TV. What's it about? What's it like? And you can't describe it to me, and I can't relate it to, you know, something that we already love. I won't pay that much attention. Exactly. But the content is there.
The content is there.
Well, I want us to go to marketing. We're skipping the conversation on marketing.
That's marketing still. That's where we're missing it. Because if we say we're like Unilever, producing Geisha and Close Up and what those, whatever. So if you don't package it well, if you don't give me exactly what I want, I won't take it. I'll go for either Move It or something Radiant, something else. Let's go back to, there is a commercial which, was it last year, but one or last year? The Bosco ad of MTN. That's what I'm talking about. Everyone fell in love with that commercial. Why?
It was catchy.
It was us. Exactly. That's what I'm talking about.
It was in our faces a lot.
It was in our faces, but still, people should also used to send it to friends. Try this, try this. It came in. The composition was mature. The art was mature. What they were doing, it was our sound. That we call it Kadon Command, what and what. But trust me, try on the wedding. When they did, you're going to see people, everyone. That's what we are failing to relate to. That's where the problem is. We are so far away from the consumers. Very far away from the consumers.
Where are you headed? Is it on world standards or feeding the consumers?
World standard, we don't even quota there.
No, the reason I'm asking where are you headed, because you're saying we're failing to connect and have that relatability.
We're going back to the point
and the industry is growing.
Yes, the industry is growing.
So is the industry growing to be at the same level with, you know, our neighbors in Kenya, maybe other African countries? Or is the industry growing to actually serve the consumers what they are looking for, as you're saying?
We have to start with home first and foremost. If you can't get home, it's going to be so hard for you to get out there. Because every time, if you've got a chance to travel outside Uganda, they want to know who you are, who are you? What do you do? How do you dress? How do you eat? So we can't think of selling content outside and selling the exact thing they do. We have to be different.
That's a good point.
We have to be different so that they can. For example, every Ugandan film producer and actor and actresses who watched Queen of Katwe criticized it. It was over-criticized. That's not what we are, that's what we know. But as a producer, I was in my corner laughing. That's what she was supposed to do, to sell something the whites have not seen in Disney, not a Disney princess, but this time a Disney princess in Africa.
Yeah.
You understand? Yeah. How do they survive? The floods, the Kutunda Kasoro on the road, all that.
So it's sort of like the unanimated version of Mulan?
Something like that. Something like that. So this is where we're getting it, why she said they are not yet paid and what. Because even the audience can't demand that give me a gaba, Ntwagala film me a gaba tonight, and once you put it on the market, it's gonna go viral. They wanna pick it up like nothing.
So
it's a challenge.
How do we change that? Because I think from even bigger film industries, we notice that the actor or the stars go before the production.
Sure.
Is that a way forward? Is that a strategy that could work to boost audiences?
I don't think we are there yet.
What does it take? What do we need?
We need marketing. That is a vice that we have.
And that's not a strategy of marketing?
It is a strategy. It is a very good one, but we are not there yet. It's not yet that time where Ugandans are like, I want Rona. If Rona is in that movie, I must watch it. And yet we have it.
I'm that guy, by the way.
We've been there.
Let me tell you, there's people. If Michael Wawuyo Jr. is in a film, Munsang at the front line. So like that's why, that's why I'm thinking.
But those
isn't
are
that
few.
a strategy?
That's what I'm telling you. Those are few. Those are few. The people that I am one of the people that would want to watch what Michael Wawuyo is doing. Yeah, but I'm not like pushing to watch him yet. You get? If this movie is in my face, like Bosco was in my face. Bosco was in my face, like literally every news feed you would be on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere. He was all over.
So you couldn't avoid
him. You couldn't avoid him. So even like you would find yourself humming Bosco, Mwana Wasite, Bosco, and you're like, am I the one singing that?
But I like that.
You get it?
Yeah.
But
if this trailer...
It's not being displayed. It's that feeling that connects spiritually with you.
Yeah,
that is the thing, that connection.
Also
there is a movie called War
originality.
Room. Have you watched it?
War Room.
War Room. 99% of Ugandan women watch that movie. The question is, why?
Marriage.
Exactly. We fail to understand what people want. We have failed to understand.
Unfortunately, we need to. Can we bring this panel back? Give us 2 hours. Just give us 2 hours. Because I think this conversation is a never-ending conversation, and especially for an industry that is growing at the rate that it is, an industry that has so much hope and so much talent. And
We must find our spot.
Yeah, we must find our spot because I think we're killing it.
Yeah, we're
not
it.
where we want to be, but we're doing
the sound
a good
is
job.
good.
Yeah.
The picture is good.
Yes.
The performance is superb. We don't have the stories they want.
Stories.
It's the writers.
What
we don't
do
have
need?
the stories they want.
Final remarks.
I think I'll side with him. Stories and originality.
Exactly.
Originality is very important. You can't mimic a Western kind of movie and you expect to bring it out better than them.
Yeah.
Just go and do Njabala. Simple.
Mabereganyi Namwiri is still there.
You
No
know,
one has
that
done
is what we
anything.
need. Because
Final remarks
we still
from
have a
you.
lot of stories that we have the
do.
7 Hills we've never said anything about.
True that.
Look at that. Some final remarks?
When you have done all those original stories and whatnot, please market these films, push them, paint them in Ugandans' faces. They will consume them by force.
By fire. And that's the plan. Thank you so
I've ever seen, okay?
Yeah.
I've ever seen people coming to your door to knock for your next movie. I've experienced that.
That's a good feeling.
I've
I want
experienced that.
I want that.
Ask Muliga
yeah.
about Amatongo and stuff like that. Ask about him. He will tell you the experience.
Guys,
you were even paid before your next movie. You are in production and they're paying for the next movie.
You are paid in advance?
In advance. I've seen that happening.
I really hope you nudge the Facebook page for another episode. Yeah, stick around. That's a very good feeling. I'm so excited that you stayed with us throughout the entire show, and we will be back next week for another episode of the Film Hackers Talk Show. Actors, actresses, and producer relationship is very key in film, and this conversation, of course, is going to carry on in the comments section. So get talking, get chatting. Joan will come on board, Rona will come on board, and also Osman will come on board, and these conversations need to be had. That way we can develop. My name is Maritza. Peace out.